How is it going? Data Byte says no data here. Welcome back to another video of Murder Mystery X, and this is actually going to be a top 5. Not a top 10 unfortunately, but a top 5, alright? So this is the top 5 bonus rounds actually. So Murder Mystery X, if you don't know, Murder Mystery X has quite a few bonus rounds. Again, it's only a top 5 because there's only 5 bonus rounds. But, you know, maybe they should add more bonus rounds. I really think they should. Next update, they should really add some more bonus rounds in Murder Mystery X because they are awesome. Bonus rounds are a really good feature, and without them, you know, if we just played classic mode over and over and over again, it would get stale pretty quickly. So you guys, this is my list of the top 5 bonus rounds. Before we begin, first of all, obviously classic is not going to be on this list because that's classic, that's not a bonus round. So obviously it's not going to be on the list, so we're just going to count down the good old 5 bonus rounds. And just so you guys know, this is my opinion, and if you have a different one, then you know what, let me know down in the comments because I would be pretty interested. If, you know, what's your favorite bonus round? Leave it down in the comments and I'll read it and probably heart it if I read it. That's usually what I do. If I read a comment, I tend to heart it because, you know, thanks for commenting. It's a good thing, you know? Now, usually I say that Massacre is my least favorite bonus round, but since then, my opinion has kind of changed about that, and I'll get into why in a little bit. But at number 5, we have Juggernaut. So in Juggernaut, it's pretty basic. You know, a lot of games have a Juggernaut round in like murder games and stuff like that. I know like Mad Games has it, Twisted Murderer has it, and basically in Juggernaut what you would do is one person is the murderer like usual and everybody else is the sheriff. Like everybody else is just a huge army of sheriffs. Pretty cool, and the sheriffs have to take down the murderer. But the catch is the murderer is very, very powerful. Obviously if you just got shot, like one shot, one kill, that'd be like really, really difficult to win as a murderer. So obviously the murderer is very, very powerful. He takes like a bunch of shots. I don't know exactly how many, maybe like 15 to 30. I mean, I guess it varies. I think in Murder Mystery X, maybe like 15 shots. I don't really know. It is quite a bit of shots. You have to keep shooting the murderer, and it says updated perks, but I really think the only perk is you have more hits. I don't know if you necessarily go faster or anything, but yeah, the murderer is very powerful. So a whole army of sheriffs have to take down this one powerful murderer, which is, you know, pretty interesting. Everybody has to kind of work together to take down the murderer, and the murderer kind of has to plan things out, really. If you just, you know, the sheriffs spread out, I feel like if they spread out and shoot the murderer, then it's really good. Like if the sheriffs are spread out, the murderer doesn't really know who to go for, and he kind of just ends up dying. So that's kind of my strategy for that. I would just spread out and just shoot the murderer. And don't get me wrong, I like Juggernaut. I like it quite a bit. It's my least favorite. You know, it's on the bottom of the list because sometimes you really don't have much to do on it. I feel like sometimes when like it's Juggernaut, obviously most of the time you're going to be a sheriff. It's pretty hard to get the Juggernaut. If you are the Juggernaut, if you have that rare occurrence where it's a Juggernaut bonus round and you are the Juggernaut, then it is pretty exciting. But most of the time you are the sheriff, and sometimes there's really not a lot to do, just you as the sheriff. Like sometimes a murderer is on the complete other side of the map, and you know, you walk over to that murderer, and then once you're there, you know, the murderer already like he's like almost dead by the time you get there. So, you know, you really don't have much to do. You might get a couple shots in, but it's really not that entertaining. The murderer, most of the time the murderer just kind of dies in a minute or so, and sometimes the murderer is just AFK. So then the murderer dies really, really quickly and not much happens. So it's just like, alright, that's a bonus round. GG, you know? And usually I say that Massacre is like my least favorite, but like in that one, at least there's like always action. Like you're always on your toes, you know? In Juggernaut, sometimes you don't get that. You kind of just win. It's disappointing at times, but other times this round can be very, very intense. Especially if you're like the last sheriff and you're the last one, everybody else died and the murderer's after you. It can be pretty intense. At number 4, we have Massacre, and for this one, it again is pretty basic. I guess all of them have like really basic rules. For this one, everybody is the murderer, so everybody has their knives out, and you have to have a free-for-all, and the last man standing is the winner. Pretty good bonus round, I must say. The only really issue I have with it is the knife. You know, sometimes I feel like the knife in a Murder Mystery X isn't good for a free-for-all, but it has improved. Like, when Murder Mystery X first came out, the knife was honestly horrible. It was really hard to throw the knife, the aim wasn't that good, and, you know, as it's updated, Murder Mystery X has definitely improved on the knife and the throwing of it and how it behaves, so Massacre is definitely getting better. Still not the best in my opinion, but, you know, it is pretty fun, it is improving, so that is good. You know, you're always on your toes with it. You know, I feel like I still kind of just die instantly because there are just a bunch of knives flying everywhere. It can be pretty overwhelming, so most of the time I kind of just die and that's the end of it. But it is pretty fun. It can also be pretty intense having a 1v1 with the second place person, I guess, like when there's 2 people left and they have a 1v1. It can be pretty intense. So yeah, Massacre is at number 4, and at number 3, we have the Team Deathmatch Murderer. So in Team Deathmatch Murderer, what you would do is, well, again, everybody is a murderer in this one, everybody is a murderer, but the catch is, it's not a free-for-all, it is a team match. So half of the people are on the red team, half the people are on the blue team, and they have a fight, and the last team standing is the winner. So it is pretty cool having some teammates on your side instead of having like a hectic free-for-all. That's why I like this one better, you know, it's really not as hectic, you know, with the knives. And it's really good to have some teammates on your side and just fight with knives. Very, very interesting round. At number 2, we have Team Deathmatch Sheriff. This is just like Team Deathmatch Murderer, but with sheriffs. So in this one, everybody is a sheriff. You know, you all have the gun, and it's not a free-for-all. It is a team battle, so you guys just have a little fight, and the last team standing wins. And you guys know me. Like, I personally prefer the sheriff in Murder Mystery X. You know, I prefer the sheriff, so... You know, Team Deathmatch Sheriff is honestly really satisfying, and what I love about the Sheriff is just the snipes you can do. Sometimes I do, like, really good far-away shots, like, I shoot other Sheriffs, like, on the complete other side of the map, and that is honestly super satisfying. I love when you're in, like, the far map, and, like, you're peeking behind the box, you can just snipe somebody from afar. That is really satisfying, and that's why I really like Team Deathmatch Sheriff. You know, everybody else is just, you know, going forward and trying to shoot people. I'm just staying behind and doing those quick snipes. It feels really, really satisfying, and that's why I like it. And at number 1, we have the Sheriff Madness. This is a free-for-all, but with sheriffs, so everybody is a sheriff, and you guys have a fight to the death. Again, I really like this one because of the cool snipes you can do, and when it's a free-for-all, it is pretty intense. Like, everybody just fighting with guns, and it's not quite like knives, like, you know, in Massacre, I don't like how hectic it is, because the knives are a lot slower, but, like, when the bullets are, like, really fast and you have to reload, I feel like it's a lot more interesting. I don't know. I guess my thought process is pretty weird. But Sheriff Madness is definitely my favorite. And it is especially satisfying when you kill like 3 people in a row. Like 3 shots, you get 3 kills. I feel like that's really, really satisfying. And just fighting everybody, it is really fun. And then having that 1v1 with the last sheriff is also really, really satisfying. Especially when you win. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. If you have different opinions, be sure to leave them down in the comments, and also leave down in the comments what other bonus rounds you think should be a thing, because I feel like there should be a lot more bonus rounds. Maybe I'll make a video on like ideas for new bonus rounds. I feel like that'd be very interesting. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. This was just a quick video on the top 5 bonus rounds, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and those other things that YouTube people do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Toodles!